another thing that we really need to be vigilant about is tis the season for the pukers.
Cha-ching.
There's holiday parties. This actually brings me back to my best Uber story that's personally ever happened to me, other than the lady that I thought was gonna mace me. Yeah, that was our pepper spray. Either way, the shit would have hurt. But it brings me back to last year. I picked up a guy at a Christmas party, right? And it's like 8:30 at night, and he's just roasted. The guy is baked. And, I pick him up. I'm like, hey, like he actually walked out to the car. Okay, so I didn't stress too much. And we got in, and he could, talk and stuff. He was like, I'm hungry. I'm like, you're talking like a child. Calm down, buddy. Had to have some Sonic, right? So we go to Sonic, and we're there. He gets his order in and stuff. And he's like, hey, I gotta pay. Like, all right, well, how this works is they bring us our food, and then we'll go find you a bathroom. No, I gotta pee right now. Well, there's some bushes over there. He's like, well, I'll be right back. So dude gets out of my car and doesn't head for the bushes. He heads to the car like 2 spots over.
Oh my God.
This lady's sitting in her car, okay? So this man walks up to her car. He doesn't just casually pee on her car. He undoes his belt, drops his pants to the ground, leans back, and just starts urinating all over the side of her car. She is shrieking. Like, you can't make this shit up. She is shrieking, right? Oh I'm horrified. I'm like, what do you do in this situation? And so I'm like, you know what? F this shit, I'm out. So I just put that thing in reverse because he closed my door. And I pulled him right out of the parking lot and I left him there. So I don't know what happened to the peer. Hopefully he went to jail.
Did you by chance see your rate change any the next day?
Yeah, I didn't even pay for attention back then.
Oh my gosh, I would think I would have recorded all the news channels because something had to happen.
I didn't hear about it. But you never hear about the stuff you want to hear about. They only put bad things with the bad things happening.
Oh my gosh. I can just see it. Oh my God.
Yes. That's exactly how it was. And it was that drunk pee where you can't lean back far enough. You're just like, Lord.
You're trying to hold on to the car.
You're like, man, I'll be done in a minute.
It's okay. Like if you're up against the side of the Suburban, I mean, if you pee on my tire, it's fine. I don't, because there's a big hand up here.
Right.
So the whole time you can just put your head up against the glass because it's cold and it will feel good. And you're holding on to the top of the Suburban so you don't fall to the left or the right.
Right, but no, this guy, and like I said, it wasn't like he could have went to the bushes, but he decided to go pee on her car. And I realized that this kind of relates to nothing except Christmas parties get stupid. And this was 8:30 at night.
Oh my God.
And this is when people puke.
Did you go back to pick more people up? Because he had to have been, I would have gone back and sat close to that Christmas party.
Yes. Anytime you find a good party, you just stick it out.
That's right.
Hopefully your people aren't like that.
Oh my God, that's the funniest thing I've ever. That's the funniest Uber story I've ever heard.
That's my personal best. Although I did think a lady was gonna mace me one night. Yeah, or pepper spray, same thing.
That's a whole nother story.
Whole nother story. We'll stay for another day. But yeah, so make sure you have barf bags in your car because this is the time that people are gonna puke. And like I said, generally you can get a good feel. Like if they can barely walk to your car, well, you probably shouldn't pick them up. But if you're going to pick them up, you should make sure they got a barf bag in their hands. Probably going to be too drunk to use it anyways. They'll just hold it beside their face and puke in your floor.
Yeah.
But if somebody does puke in your car, remember that after they puke, you finish the ride, you take them home, end the trip, rate them how you feel, and then
should you tell them right then that there's going to be a cleaning charge?
I do. And anytime somebody gets in my car and I remotely think they have a chance of spewing, I'm like, hey, let's try to keep this clean because it's a $250 cleaning fee. But you actually get $200. That's all that they actually pay anymore.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll tell them straight up, it's a $250 cleaning fee. Help me help you get your friend home, or help me help you get home. Let's not ruin your Christmas. Let's not ruin anything. I don't want to clean up your throw up.
Yeah.
But drunk people are drunk people, man. Like I said, they'll hold their bag beside their friend's face and puke in your floor.
Yeah, I mean, the other night I picked up a drunk girl, and her friends called the Uber for her with her phone, and I'm pulling out of the neighborhood, and they called me, and they're like, hey, this is so-and-so, are you coming to pick us up? And I said, sure, I'm on my way. And they said, all right, we're at this place. So I go, and I get there, and it's them putting this single girl who can barely walk into my car.
I'm not taking that.
Yeah, she was so drunk. I mean, she could barely stand there. They're like pushing her into the front seat. And I'm watching them. I'm like, is she okay? And they're like, oh, no, she's fine. So I immediately go, well, here. And in the side pocket of the Suburban, I have these little things. And they're little blue round things with the blue bag, puke bag. And I'm like, I have this right here. So, and I'm starting my GoPro. So this is on the film. And I said, if you puke, and I go even higher. I say it's a $300 charge to clean this Suburban because it's an XL. You know, it's just more expensive. And so they're always in the fear of that. And I just said, look, I said, if you start to feel bad, you let me know. I said, I've got this. And I said, I'll pull over for you. And she's like, oh, I'm not going to get puke. And I was like, did y'all mean to call an XL? And they're like, oh, yeah, she meant to call an XL. Then she starts getting really upset. But she rated me a 5-star. I think she realized her friends had screwed her over on this deal, and she had to pay twice as much to get home.
Right.
And yeah, I mean, I honestly, I think I told you about it, and you're like, I wouldn't have taken her. And I was like, well, it was too late. They already put her in the car. And I'm like,
when you see them escorting a friend,
yeah,
you lock that door. You have a conversation first. I think that's an old taxi trick. Yeah. You just roll the window down a little bit and you talk to them. You do a little investigation.
What do you want?
Do you have guys? Can I take you there? No, get out.
Yeah. I mean, it literally got to that. I wish I had, because they got that door open and they just started pushing her in. I was like, oh, this isn't going to be good.
And there's no bigger fear than riding with a loose cannon beside you. You know that at any moment they're going to erupt.
Yeah.
And it's just like you're praying. You're like, okay, I can make it home.
Please don't get it in my dash.
I can get them home. You know?
Please don't get it all over my console and my dash. I mean, in the back of I've got those big floor mats all over the thing. So if they puke on that, that's no big deal. I'll pull it out and I'll spray it off, and I can wipe down the seat. But if you get it in the cracks of my dash and my console, that shit's not coming out.
No, and they're like, just roll down the window. Like, I don't want you to hang your head out.
No, I'm not. No, if you feel like you're gonna throw up, I'm pulling over, and you're gonna stand outside the car until this is done. I said, I'm not letting you keep your head out the window. And if you want to roll the window down the whole time, I'm not driving 35 miles or 30. I'm not driving any time whatsoever when it's freezing cold outside with the window down. Either you can make it or you can't. And if you can't, we're just gonna go ahead and end the ride right now.
Right.
I just tell them, hit the cancel. I'm not ending the ride. You're going to cancel this ride in the middle of it, and that's it.
Yeah. Then they can't rate you. So it's a very smart way to get out of
it. And that's my new thing is, if I get there and I pick them up and they get in the car and there's more or whatever, I tell them, you have to cancel the ride. I'm not ending rides anymore.
This is why you don't start trips until they're in your car. Yeah. Until you're sure this is the ride you want.
Yeah.
Like, people are like, I don't want to sit out there for 3 minutes and not get paid. Sorry if 90 cents affects your day.
Yeah.
But you know what? 90 cents or power over the ride.
Yeah.
I want power over this ride.
Yeah, no, exactly. And I mean, I don't. I when I first started, I was doing that, and then I was learning the hard way. And I just don't do that anymore. And if I get in the car and we're going and something happens or whatever, and people become argumentative or whatever, I just pull over and I ask them to get out, and I said, you all need to cancel this ride.
Yep.
I said, just cancel it. We're done.
Cancel, or I'm going to keep driving. And I'm headed to Canada.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Yeah, I mean, that happened the other night to me. I mean, I went to pick people up. There were 7 of them. They wanted to go to, like, a Chili's or whatever. And they were all in the car, and he goes, all right, we got one more. And I was like, wait a minute. I said, you're only supposed to be 6? No, we got 7. I was like, guys, you got to, I said, because he called me on the phone before he came out. He said, just go ahead and start the trip. We'll be out in just a minute. He said, they're all being slow, so, no reason. He goes, so I started it. They get in the car, and there's like, 7 of us. I was like, I can't take 7 of you. So you have to cancel this ride. I said, that's just how it's going to be, you know? And if a passenger tells you to start the ride, I'm going to start the ride.
Right.
You know what I mean? But I'm not going to end it. And
that's when you're like, how many?
Yeah.
Like, at least if you have that conversation, if you're an XL driver, remember to ask them how many, or even an X driver.
Yeah.
Because it's harder for an X to take a 5th person than an XL at 6 to take a 7th. Because you actually have room in those vehicles.
Yeah.
Not that you should do it, but I mean, there's more room there.
I mean, if I had the bench seat in the middle of my Suburban, I could totally take 7 people. Right. And then they're like, well, you've got that whole back section. Well, there's no seatbelt back there.
I'm not putting you in my trunk.
Yeah.
You're not getting in the hatch.
Yeah, we've seen that video. That's not going to happen.
That's not good.